Hi, I'm Henry, also known as Henners. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, classical musician, and massive Eurovision fan. I'm looking at the Eurovision 2026 entries and reacting to them, analysing them, and predicting how they might do in the contest. Today I'm looking at Luxembourg, who have just had their national final. I believe Luxembourg have some kind of contract or something with the contest, like a 3-year contract with the broadcaster or something, because it's not a public funded broadcaster. There's some kind of thing that I know was going to be renewed or reassessed maybe after 3 years, or am I really making that up? I'm sure I've heard that somewhere. So I feel like it's the case that this needs to be a decent entry or something, so they know they need to keep going, or am I really just making that up? I'm sure I heard that somewhere. There's some kind of thing. Please let me know if you know what the situation is there.
What's the difference between a county and a country?
So country is like England.
Yeah. So Wales is in Cardiff.
Obviously, Luxembourg have only been back in the modern contest for 2 years, so this will be quite interesting to see what direction Luxembourg are going in the contest, forming an identity for themselves. By the looks of the artist that's been selected, they're on a very similar kind of wavelength physically, looks-wise. I was kind of confused when I saw the picture. I thought it was Laura Thorne.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura Thorne.
But I'm really excited to look at this song. I've seen that this song is called Mother Nature, which is kind of crazy because last month I released a song all about Mother Nature. About how we should trust the way Mother Nature made us and embrace it. It'll be interesting to see if I'm on a similar wavelength to the artist who was selected for Luxembourg with the Mother Nature song or not. Yeah, so I'm very excited to take a look at this. I've got my tea ready. You can probably guess which country I'm from by the fact I'm drinking tea. Okay, so this is Eva Marija, let me know how you pronounce that, with Mother Nature. Pizzicato strings being plucked. Okay, I'm going to work out this chord progression already because I'm annoying and need to know everything that's going on musically. So we're going A minor, G, C, F. Very classic pop chord progression. So it'll be interesting to see if she experiments any further than that. I love this tableau of her lying on the cracked earth. That's already signaling Mother Nature vibes to me. Oh, she looks beautiful in that tableau. I love the starry background. Her on the cracked earth feels very atmospheric. From the start, almost had this slight cursive tinge to her voice. I have seen that she's studying songwriting in London. I don't know why. I feel like people that come out of songwriting courses at university in the UK always feel like I don't know if they're taught to sing with that cursive voice. Got a lovely soft voice and a fairly low range for now. Now she's lying in a bowl of spaghetti. Oh, she's very captivating. So we've got this percussion that feels quite dramatic, cinematic. Feels quite, folky's not the right word, sort of communal. Feels like the sort of song you'd hear at some kind of event where people are being brought together, if that makes sense. I've heard people, I haven't heard this song at all before now, but I have heard people online saying that it sounds like that Birdie song, and I agree with that, it does. Not the most original melody so far, I think, but it's digestible. She's commanding that stage by herself really well. This stage, LEDs, Natalia Barbu. We've gone into that falsetto. Obviously, I have a broken voice. I'm not going to sound as clean doing that as she is. And I've only just woken up, but lovely falsetto tonal quality in contrast to the lower range she was singing in the verse. I love her outfit. Kind of ragged. No, I take it back. It does have some folk influences, I think, with that kind of string sound. And she just did that vocal flip, which is really cool. Again, too early for me to be doing that. That was questionable. I don't know, I feel like it does actually have a sort of Celtic folk influence, is what it's sounding like to me. And there are a lot of Celtic folk songs about Mother Nature, that pagan influence. We've got the plucking again. That's really reminding me of something, that plucking. And it's a Eurovision song. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Okay, editing Henry, if you remember what that is, put it on the screen, please, because that's annoying me. I'm not too sure about this chorus. Feels a bit, I am brave, I am strong. But I mean, I will say it's a... Oh, she's got the violin out. I will say it's a digestible, catchy melody. So in that sense, it will be memorable. Beautiful. Beautiful melody. Or is that a viola, maybe? Oh. That, this Luxembourg is a good way of using the 3D graphics. On-screen graphics. Was that a bird that flew over? I feel like that actually made sense because we're singing about Mother Nature rather than Fighter, that cheetah came out. Yeah. This feels very 2010's Eurovision, if you know what I mean. Oh, she got a little light. Okay, bird of prey. Oh.
Thank you so much, Luxembourg.
Oh, and it was completely in English from what I heard there. Oh, that was lovely. You know what? She did an amazing job of commanding that stage all by herself. No sign of nerves or anything. She sounded beautiful. So I'll talk about it a bit more in depth now, but I'm going to have a quick look at those lyrics to see what she was... I heard Mother Nature a lot, so I want to hear specifically what the message is she's telling here. From the start, when all was fun and games, wasn't hard, but all good things can end. Well, that could be a reference to from the start of the world, when all was fun and games wasn't hard, because in a sense, our primal ancestors, I suppose they had to fend for themselves and fight, so in that sense it was hard, but they didn't have all of these human concepts about working, having all these social rules and stuff. But I think this is more, she's talking about her childhood self. I planted a seed under the moonlight, and even when there's thunder, I go back when I wonder who am I. Yeah, it's that thing of turning to nature when things in your life are all going a bit haywire, letting nature guide you and stuff, kind of turning to that divine, nature as the divine. From the ground to my skin as I'm howling at the wind, dig my roots in the mud. Yeah, letting go of all my sins. Well, that's it. Because I feel like a lot of things in life are questioned whether it's natural or moral, but if nature put it there, then it's there. Maybe for a reason, I guess. I don't know. Mother Nature, she knows. That's very true. Mother Nature does know. That sounds very similar to some of the lyrics of my song, which you could go and stream if you like. I think it's an interesting message. It's like she's nearly fallen into the trap of very cliche, you are loved, you're held, we're brave, we're in this together, this is a revolution kind of thing. But she's going through the lens of singing about Mother Nature to do it, so it's got a bit of a unique twist lyrically. I have to say, I was surprised. All the hubbub about Luxembourg Song Contest I'd heard online was between Luzak and the song about a mermaid. Can't remember what that was called, but it looked really cool. So I was quite surprised that not one of those songs was in the super final. I didn't quite understand the format of the contest, that there's only, 7, 8 songs in Luxembourg Song Contest, and there's a super final of 3 still, so let me know how that works, because I don't really understand the purpose there. I feel like we could just have one set of results and call it a day. There's obviously not too much to look at or say in terms of their semi-final record, because they've only been in the semi-final era of Eurovision for 2 years, but both pretty strong results from Tally and Laura Thorne. I think with juries they'll probably benefit more, to be honest, but they've not really struggled with televote in semi-finals. They don't have Belgium in their semi-final, which is unfortunate, and obviously no Netherlands at all. I think this is probably the least televote friendly song of the three. Well, this is something that Luxembourg have done a good job of. If they continue working with that Ukrainian team from last year, they'll do even better, I think. I think if the staging is really amplified and there's a really creative kind of concept and something that the audience could say, yep, that was the song where she did this thing, or the staging looked like this, then they've got a much stronger chance of getting a good televote score. But I think juries should appreciate this to an extent. I worry that there's going to be more obviously impressive entries, and this was so impressive in so many ways. Like I said, her vocals were incredible. No sign of nerves there. Lovely instrumentation, but I mean, it was, like I said, a fairly simple chord progression, a fairly predictable melody, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, just all observations. And then in the final, they've struggled a bit more, especially with the televote, and I think if this does make it to the final, I do worry in terms of televote. And then jury, it's kind of hard to tell whether they'll like this or not. I think they should. I mean, it speaks to me as being a jury bait song in a way. I feel like if it gets lost within the running order, then both jury and televote could kind of swallow it up a bit. So in terms of will it qualify or not, possibly 9th or 10th it could do. Let me know what you think. My instinct is yes, it will qualify, but just about, and then it won't do great in the final. But that doesn't mean that I don't think it's good, personally. Okay, so if we take a look at the jury criteria for composition and originality, I've given it a 7 out of 10. I was umming and erring between a 6 or 7. I wonder how long that's going to last, by the way. Maybe I should have gone 6, actually. I know that sounds harsh, but I just think compared to other songs I've heard this year, that chord progression wasn't particularly inventive, and I feel like the comparison to other songs and the predictability of the melody does drag it down quite a bit. But I think the lyrics were nice. I think there was interesting themes and messages in there. And I think especially in a time where there is so much human conflict and horrendous things going on that the EBU like to put on a pedestal and whitewash, that a song about turning to nature and just think about what's actually natural and what we can control, I think is something that's quite nice to have within the contest. Vocal capacity, I said 8. There was nothing crazy there, but I think she showed a good display of capability. She could sing quite comfortably, fairly low, and then went up into that nice falsetto sound. Her pitch was like on point. She has a really good control of her pitch. She's completely in tune. No nerves, no shakiness, good breath control. So yeah. Then performance on stage, 7. I'm so impressed with how confident she seemed just all on her own, especially with a song that's not really go-y and upbeat. I mean, it is to an extent, of course, but it's not crazy, that she was still able to bring that energy and sweetness, and it did seem really lovely. LEDs were cool, graphics were cool. I think there's room for improvement and to be a bit more competitive with staging, but from the last couple of years, I have faith that Luxembourg and their team that does the staging will do that. And then overall impression, which is kind of just my personal opinion of the song, I've said 7. I always think it's interesting analysing and thinking about songs through a Eurovision lens, because if I was just listening to this completely outside of a Eurovision context, I don't know what my opinion of this song would be. To be honest, I'm not sure I'd enjoy it as much, which is funny that within a Eurovision context, I've got such a wildly different opinion, I don't know. Which brings us to 29 out of 40. I feel like they've all been fairly similar scores that I've given them, so maybe it's going to be a somewhat competitive year jury-wise, and it's all going to be a bit spread out like it was for 2025. Anyway, that was my initial reaction to Luxembourg's entry for Eurovision 2026. What did you think? Please let me know all of your opinions. I love reading all your comments. Thank you for watching. You've all been really kind and supportive, and I can't wait to keep going and chatting to you more in the comments. I love hearing people that have commented from the country of the song I'm reacting to, letting me know more about the song and the artist and what the message behind the song is, what's going on in your country. I love that community feel. So please don't be shy, please do comment and let me know your opinions. You can follow me on my socials, Henry Laux and Henry Laux Music, and you can stream my music too. If you really enjoyed this video and want to support my channel, there is the option to support me on Buy Me a Coffee and support my music too. Obviously no pressure or expectation at all, but the option's there if you would like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Goodbye.